maybe I need to think about this administrative thing. And thought about it, talked over with my wife, and decided to move on from coaching to administration. And John Castleberry gave me my first job as a part-time scout with the Florida Marlins.
Nice, man. So for the people that may not, Atlanta's such a hub now, and everybody's coming in and out of there, man. But for being out there in Decatur and doing your thing out there in Reed in high school, was impressive on its own. But the main reason I kind of wanted to bring you on, because we're going to talk about the MVP showcase, that you've been putting on for 15 years, but you've been dealing with in the youth baseball space a lot longer, and obviously I was playing when you were doing your thing, man. But coming up, but I remember again briefly here, you used to hear in this 02, oh yeah, East Cobb and travel ball. I didn't even know nothing about a travel ball or East Cobb and nothing. And 02, we played when I was coming up. We played Legion ball. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about travel baseball. So I want you to kind of go back to when you started seeing the transition from, all-star high school type teams to this travel ball industry to, Atlanta being the hub right now. You know what I'm saying? And seeing that whole big transition over the years.
Well, I had a couple of kids in the early 90s. Ricky Kimbo, who went to Florida State, still the all-time save leader at Florida State. That was drafted by the Oakland A's in the fifth round. And then a guy named Pax Briley went to Clemson. Those guys, we always had summer league teams in high school. And those guys didn't need to play with me in the summer because I was trying to get ready for the next year, what guys I needed. Now, those guys were studs that started since the ninth grade. And they would play on travel. That's when travel ball was really travel ball. It was the best kids from each team would play. Now, I like to call it cash ball. Now, everybody plays travel ball. So if you pay the fees, you can play travel ball. So it's really different than it was back in those days. They got 6-year-old travel ball teams that play 80 games a year, which is ridiculous. You don't learn the fundamentals. You just play games. But everybody can say, hey, my kid's on the travel team. And I guess that sounds good. But, those same kids that's all-stars at 6 years old, they're burnt out at 16, and they don't even play high school ball. I'm just telling you like it is. A lot of people getting mad at me because I'm sure you got people on here that will show you that their kid got 6 world championship rings at 9 years old, and they're world champs, and they're going to be first-round draft choices, this type of thing. And I'm all for that. I wish you the best, but that's not how it works in the real world. When I scouted for 2 years with the Marlins and 14 years with the Dodgers, I never asked about a little league career. It wasn't important, man. It's still not important. But again, if you want to ring chase and you want to play a bunch of games, that's fine. But I would think that you need to get some work in, learn the fundamentals, practice a lot, and then, play a few games. But, the way to do it now, they just play games. They're not developing.
Facts, coach. So that transition from, what you're saying to, travel ball to cash ball, what was those years? When was those years starting to happen? I
think Brandon might have been a junior in high school, and his team called the Warhawks from Ohio wanted him to come up and play. I
remember that.
And I said, I did a little research and talked to his dad and said he was getting a lot more out of that than playing with us this summer. I'm all for it. So I started following the travel circuit, I guess around 98. And there were still elite teams in every state. It wasn't like it is today.
Right.
Every kid plays on the travel circuit.
Right.
But after 2002, when I got out of coaching and started following scouting a little bit more, and I started seeing more and more travel ball, and I started seeing it was watered down. It wasn't as intense and didn't have the best players like it did when Brandon and then Paxton and those guys were playing. I would say, well, I'm going to travel team, but these kids need a lot of work, They'd have 1 or 2 guys, but it wasn't the travel teams from those years when all 9 or 12 kids could play and had signed scholarships, So that's when I started seeing the changes. I also started seeing a lot of folks charging $75 an hour for lessons. and telling these kids, if you work just 10 more lessons, I'll have you, the next thing, So baseball started changing then.
What is that Warhawks man? Shout out to my boy Josh. All right. Good point, coach, about practice facts. All right. So now you are, seeing the travel ball industry change and all of that. So when did you, feel the need to start what is now the MVP, baseball? Has it always been MVP, showcase?
Yeah, it's always been MVP. It started. We were at a ballpark. There were several other black scouts, and we were hearing this stuff about this kid is raw, and it was always a black kid. This kid just needs some work. He doesn't know fundamentals. And we know none of that stuff was true, man. And so we started talking, and I'm not trying to name drop, but there was guys that worked in baseball for years. Danny Montgomery, Clarence Johns, Stevie Williams. And they said, well, why don't we just do the thing in Atlanta? And I said, well, will you guys support it? When I meant, will you support it? Will you send scouts to watch these kids? I already had a rapport with the college coaches because I'd been sending kids to college for years. But on the pro side, it was pretty new to me. But those guys knew all the pro guys. And they said, yeah, we'll get them to support it. Just got to get quality teams. You can't have teams that throwing the ball to the backstop, walking 20 kids in the game, that type of thing. Got to be quality kids. Because when you put this out there, everybody's going to want to play. But you got to make sure that you have kids that are worthy of being in this type of atmosphere. And so we worked on it and developed it. Didn't have any money. There was a guy named Milton Sanders who owned several Kentucky Fried Chicken in the metro Atlanta area. He said that he would bankroll it. He and Melvin Trainum were the business people that got involved with MVP. There was a guy named Paris Bird who had been a high school coach. A guy named Greg Davis that had run the youth circuits for years. And myself that said, okay, we're going to make this thing happen. And the advisors we had on the pro side said they would get the people there. So that's how I originally started when they said black kids weren't playing baseball. And we knew that not to be true.
So Tina, I can make it public, but you got to go over to my fan page. You're on the private page. I hate to tell you, Tina, but to make that public, I would love to make it, but you got to go over to the fan page. I know it's a whole different page. I know I'm messing everything up, but you on my private Facebook, and I can't share that, Tina. So you got to go over there and share it on the other pages over there. So anyway, they want to share it, Coach, but then a couple of Tina, my girl Tina over there, Nunez, want to she's on.
I know Tina well. She's part of the baseball family.
Yeah, she did. Yes, she did. You know what I'm saying? She over there, and she like, yo, she trying to share. And I feel bad, but it is what it is. That's
Tina knows how to reach us.
Right.
We ain't going nowhere.
Right, but she trying to share it to her community, and
I know. But tell her
Facebook group,
anytime she can find us, anytime. We're easy to find, D.
Yeah. So so my boy, thanks, Coach, for contacting Coach Brown and allowing my son to play. That's Kenny, the kid, the jersey.
I got you.
Last week. You know what I'm saying? So now you started MVP. You're doing your thing. You started this thing, and it's 15 years deep. And can you explain the type of talent over the years that's been going on through there, and the type of atmosphere has always been like that?
Yes, sir. We've like I said, been blessed, man. I'm gonna name the guys that bring teams. Chip Lawrence, who's a cross checker with San Diego, he has and you need to get him on the show too. He does some great things with his youth program, Pro Youth Foundation. Right. So he gets quality kids. He has to turn kids away because he has the entire Florida area that he gets kids from, and because of who he is and his travels. He gets kids from other states, too. They just play on the Team Florida. But he brings quality kids. The Virginia team is run by Manny Upton. Everybody knows the Upton family. He had a first and a second pick in the entire draft. Right. So he knows a little baseball. So he got the Virginia area. And on the East Coast, people contact him. And he brings a good group every year from there. Chicago Ace, as everybody knows, is probably the best amateur club in the country because everything is free. Chicago White Sox owner takes care of them. They have tryouts, of course, but once you make that club, you don't pay a dime. You travel all over the country, playing quality tournaments. If every big league club did that, you wouldn't need an MVP. You know, but we right now we're still needed.
Let me say this and try to be as
politically correct. Well, D, you don't work for. I don't work for a club anymore, so I can talk about it.
Yeah, because because I'll say the wrong thing and then I'll be trying to reach out to my MLB brethren. They be scared to come on here. You know what I'm saying? So,
we don't want to talk about nobody because they got to feed their families.
Facts.
Everybody got to stay in the lane. But honestly, everybody wants the best for our kids. But sometimes they just can't say the things that we can say.
But why White Sox? Why the Kansas City Royals? Why these are not, well, the Kansas City is not a major market, but why those teams see the need for the youth baseball space? You know what I'm saying? Even though Kansas City is not necessarily for like just minority, but they're doing it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got an academy right there in the hood.
Yeah, right in the hood.
Yeah.
So why don't other teams jump on board? And
it's all about ownership. It's about ownership. You can't tell these folks what to do with their money. But all of them have a foundation. All of them could do it if they wanted to. Let me explain this to you. And everybody in baseball knows 50 years ago, they went over to the Dominican, every club. They signed kids at 15, So if they wanted to, they could.
The country is the size of Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And got 32 teams. And I'm not hating because those dudes work hard. They
do work hard. I'm not knocking them.
Yeah, we not. I'm just saying if they could do it there, why not have an academy?
They could do it here, D. They could do it here. And let me explain something to you. We tried it in the late 80s. I was involved in youth baseball. Then there's a guy named John Young that started the RBI program. And the intention was wonderful. The intention was great. Major League Baseball bought into it. Unfortunately, there's a guy named Mark Salter, used to be the coach at Jackson State University, lives in Montgomery. He can give you a better history than I can because he was right there with John Young when they started it. He's been on several committees. The money got in the wrong hands.
That's what I was always hearing about the RBI. That's what I heard.
Unfortunately, the intentions didn't pan out. It was when we were still working with RBI, and there are still some good RBI programs. But we got to start it. You got to reconfigure it, and we're doing a pretty good job here in Atlanta. The Marquise Grissom Baseball Association has taken over the RBI program with the Atlanta Braves here, and we had more kids involved this year than we've ever had. So some cities are doing it the right way, but you got to get the right people to run it, man. And you know how that goes. Anytime there's money involved, and you got people that haven't been vetted, sometimes bad things happen, man. And I'm just telling you like it is.
I know I was in KC. There was trouble about that in the late 90s, early 2000s about that. And then it was I lived in Memphis and the same thing happened. Man. But,
again, it has to be restructured and the people have to be vetted in order for it to work. And for it to be sustainable, you got to get people that's in it for the long haul. Not you in it because my son is playing. Not in it because my nephew is playing. You're going to be there when they leave. Those are the folks you got to have, man. And thank God with Major League Baseball today, with the youth division they have today, with Tony Reagan's running it, there's some good stuff coming out of there, man.
Where do you see, this, going like with this movement? We talked about it a little earlier, man, on here. A lot of money has been, given to the Black Alliance over here. So what do you see the game going? And because you've been tied in on that side of youth baseball, MLB, what I'm saying, all of that. You've been doing this for many, many years. I'm just the outsider trying to, see it, peep what's going on.
Well, we need you on the inside. You got to get out the outside, brother. We need you on the inside. There's going to be folks like you that make it happen, man, where your heart is in it, for kids.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I see it doing great things. I see Tony Reagan remains involved, and Ken Du and Dale Matthews, that group that they have running Major League Baseball side of youth division. If those people stay where they are, it's going to continue to grow, continue to blossom. The Breakthrough Series is relatively new. And all this started, man, from what we did with MVP. We were the first group to have an all-black team to go to Jupiter. We don't, man, again, it's not about us. It's about trying to help kids. And if other organizations do this, we don't need an MVP. I don't plan on doing this forever. But until we get it right, and I can still walk and talk, I'm going to try to do it.
I know that's right. I got a couple questions coming in, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Bubba says, is the Mark Jackson with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes? Is that Mark Jackson? I don't know.
No. That was Salter, Mark Salter in Montgomery.
Will says, ask Coach about his baseball field named after him.
Will, that's another show, man. It's not about me, man. It's about these kids we trying to help, man. I've been blessed, to be around some good athletes, and I get the credit for it, but and then I put the time in, man. But
no doubt, man.
Hey, man, if people help me, and when I ask what can I do, they say help somebody else. That's what I'm trying to do. But we got folks like Will Gilbert, who spends a lot of his time trying to help other kids. He doesn't just help his kid; he helps other kids. If he sees somebody can play, he'll make a phone call.
Yes,
and he knows that I'm plugged in, and I'll make a call to a coach. It don't cost me nothing, to make a phone call. And that's what it's about, man. Helping one man, helping the next man. But Will is doing a great job in this area, man.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. That's my guy.
I'm trying to get him hooked up with some scouts in this area so we can do some bird dogging, man. Because he's thinking about doing it.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I was telling him just yesterday, I'm like, you watch a whole lot of damn baseball, man. Yeah. And like you said, it ain't just his sons, anything involved. He always at the ball field,
I'm trying to get him hooked up, man.
That's what's up, man. All right, my boy B Hall says the economics don't match up from here. You can sign 20 kids for $100K, and Americans not signing their kids for $10K. Money runs everything.
Well, it's always about economics. We understand that. I mean, but I can't change that. Even more so when we talk about black kids not playing. Do you think that it's fair that colleges only get 11.7 scholarships? How can I tell a kid to stick with baseball when they get 100% basketball and football? I just happen to love baseball, and I went to school for free. I didn't pay a dime. Back in the 70s, I'm old. I'm 64 years old. You got 100% in baseball.
Back then they did.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that too, because I when you were saying that, you were just kind of going over your history. So I'm glad you brought it back up. But that I think that needs to be said. You have a first rounder, a third rounder, and all of this from a HBCU school over there in Tennessee State, who don't even have a baseball program no more.
Program ended in 1993. Everett Stoll was the last big leaguer was a big leaguer from Tennessee State, and he went to Redan High School. I sent him to Tennessee State.
Wow, that is crazy, because I'm that's we talk in the different groups and how no HBCUs getting drafted and here and there, but to hear you say
they used to Jackson State, Grambling, Tennessee State, they would put Southern has probably 9 scouts today. They played it, if they didn't play the game, they're scouting the game. So we know the game, and people talk about HBCUs. I'm a product of HBCU, proud product of HBCU. So,
what do you feel about, certain people feel like, I mean, you've been getting kids into college with 300 plus kids, man, and coming out of, in and around you and your program and that you ran or been associated with. How you feel when because I think we commented a couple of times in certain groups and certain people may say, oh, why HBCUs don't go after our kids and all of that, whatever, and they be sitting there.
They do go after our kids. They don't have the budgets that these big schools have, but you got to understand, they were at MVP.
Right.
So, I mean, they can't go everywhere and be everywhere, but they were at MVP. And again, but it's years of communication, years of resources. If you would, D, have you had Cooper on here from Grambling?
Yeah, Cooper's been on there. Yep.
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, he's gonna do the best he can.
Right.
Stubbs, they just got the job in Mississippi Valley. He's gonna do the best he can.
Yeah.
The brother at Southern gonna do the best he can.
Yep.
But it is what it is. It's about money, and those schools don't get 11.7 scholarships like the PWIs.
Right. And I see, I be talking about that, man. And like the Pine Bluffs and Carlos and all of them, man, getting 4.9 scholarship. Like what, like what are you supposed to do with
but
that?
But you want them to compete.
Right. Come on, man. Oof.
You got to chop it up into 25 people, man.
Right.
Again, I can't solve that. But again, I'm going to always be a proponent of baseball. I'm going to push baseball, but I'm never going to tell a parent, now turn down that 100% and go play baseball. Come on, man.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it. I mean, I was one. I was a football player, and I didn't even look at no college baseball schools because it wasn't even in my vision. You know what I'm saying?
Till you got popped in the first round.
Right. That's the only reason I changed. Now I wanted to play two sports, but I was gonna go on a football scholarship and walk on, but I wasn't listening. And I had a lot of big college baseball, but it just it ain't make no sense. I was just like, and I told him
it doesn't make sense. Other thing, D, I hear people all the time talk about you need to specialize. Why the hell would you tell a kid to specialize at 10 years old, 12 years old? Play it all. Right. Eventually, you won't be able to.
Right.
Do you know that most kids that are drafted played multiple sports?
Multiple. And those scouts love it. And they love it.
I mean, I don't understand that, but the way I do understand it, because most of the people that tell you that give lessons, so that's more money for them. So, I'm not knocking lessons. People need to get lessons, but be realistic. If your kid not starting in high school, why are you still taking lessons? Come on, man.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, go to the library. There's more money in academics than it is in baseball.
You ain't lying, man. Gosh, they
spend money on a tutor. Eventually you want to give up that dream. You want everybody going to have to hang up that dream eventually. 90% of all careers end in high school. You know that.
90% of all Koreans.
Careers.
Oh, they said Koreans. Oh, yeah.
No, careers.
90%. Actually, yes, you are absolutely right. 10 points. Yes. 90% end in high school, right?
But everybody talks about playing D1. Come on, man.
2.1% of doing that. You know what I'm saying?
That's and we talked earlier, man, about these. I mean, I'm not telling anybody not to dream. I want you to be a big leaguer.
Right.
But again, you got a better chance of hitting the lottery or being a rocket scientist. There's only 775 big leaguers.
Right. Yeah.
And we got more medical doctors in downtown Atlanta than we do big leaguers. So I mean,
tell them, Coach.
Have a plan B, man. Is all I'm saying.
Tell them, Coach.
Have a plan B.
All right, my boy Russ says Kansas City had an academy and produced Frank White and UL Washington. AAU complained black kids were getting an advantage, so it was stopped. And academies then went to the DR. Academies work.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, look at your big league rosters.
Right.
Everybody got a kid from the Dominican over there.
and I was looking at Cleveland. I promise you, I think 7 of their starters is all there. You know what I'm saying? Had Latin backgrounds. I'm like, and again, I'm not. It is what it is, but it's just, man.
I'm all for the Latin brothers, man. But I'm saying, if they did that here in the United States, what could it be?
Right.
I mean, look at Atlanta. You don't have to go to Cleveland. Look at Atlanta Braves.
Right.
Name a black kid on their team.
Not one. Tukey Haitian, but he just got called back up yesterday.
I mean, he wasn't there last week, so
we
didn't have him, sir. Again, we got a lot of work to do, man. So
right. All right, Shara says, I love loving this discussion. Yamina said this is awesome. All right.
Again, you caught me at 64. When I was 44, I wouldn't be talking like that because I was getting a check from.
I already know. That's why they be scared. I don't ask a handful of dudes we both know to come on here, and I know they know what's going on, but they be scared, man. They be scared. I'm like, listen, man, they ain't gonna lose their shit,
No, you don't have to be scared, but just gotta tell it like it is, man.
That's it, man. For real. Bubba needs to be able to give full rides just like other sports do. I agree.
Yeah, the NCAA could do that. I mean, they could easily bump that up, man.
Title IX equal scholarships for females is why college baseball is reduced. Yep, it's a fact.
We all aware that there's enough money in the NCAA to increase it for Title IX and baseball. I don't want to hear that as an excuse. When coaches can make $7 million, you can't give a scholarship.
Facts.
I don't want to hear that, man. You know, they can make them excuses all you want. Title IX, come on, man.
Right.
NCAA makes more money off commercials. $8
billion that college football done made, you know what I'm saying? NCAA has made off of college football alone. $8 billion. You know what I'm saying?
College football, the football coaches make more than the president. You know, come on, man.
Right.
You know, so you gonna tell me we can't give scholarships? Get out of here, man.
I heard a dude say that today, and I kind of agree just for the amount of money that this dude make. But Saban gets paid $8-9 million, and they said he is the bargain coach of the college football. You know what I'm saying? And it was like they should be paying because, you know, his program alone makes $70-75 million a year. You know, you know, they wins and losses, man. So anyway, Daniel said, my boy says in the 70s and 80s, the SWAC had 10 plus drafted every year. He's an 80s. He's an 80s.
Again, you got to realize we weren't going to PWIs as often as we do now then either. You know, they didn't want us then, but again, back to the economics.
Facts. My boy B Hall over there talking about Koreans. Hey, man, hey, that's that country. I thought he said Koreans. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Don't be making fun of me, B Hall. You know what I'm saying? So, dropping bombs. If your kid ain't starting in high school, why you taking lessons? Right. That is a bar right there. That is a bar.
I'm not trying to knock nobody. That's your dream. Do it. But again, sometimes our priority. You're a senior in high school and you're not starting, but you're taking lessons every Saturday and Sunday evenings. You know, people tell me that, man, he's in the cage, he's doing his work. I just don't understand it. I'm saying, well, you don't understand it by now.
Yeah, I saw a post, and it's going on right now. And he said the dude was like, you know, he wanted to play high level travel baseball, but he said his kid doesn't necessarily care all that hard. He just wants to play, but he doesn't do the extra work that it takes. And you know, I ain't comment because I just read stuff, but I think, you know, they sound like the dad was kind of, you know, and he follows the show, but it's like it seemed like he was making excuses for his son, for not, you know, working that extra, you know, just to, you know, and it was just travel ball. He was trying to get into a travel ball thing, and talking about exposure and why, you know, certain schools is not doing what. But
hey, man, you ask anybody, you got to put the work in.
Facts.
Got to put the work in.
Facts.
It's gonna come to a level. I mean, certainly. I mean, we're all born with a gift, but eventually you're gonna meet somebody else that got that same gift, and it's gonna be the work ethic that's gonna separate you.
Facts. And that is, you know, I remember, I remember one of your boys, man. I know he ain't gonna remember this, but he was scuffling, man, and your boy B Phillips. And Dijon Watson was over there with Cleveland. And Dijon he's front office now with the Nationals. And I've known Dijon. He was a scouting director when I was in high school.
Yeah, but I know him.
You know Dijon. He went over to Cleveland, and B Phillips was scuffling. And he came over to me. He said, D, he said, go talk to that man, that young brother over there, man, because you know, he had just got traded from the Expos over there to the Indians. And he was trying to.
Before you finish the story, maturity means a lot. Brandon was young, you know, fresh out of high school, bunch of money. He wore some shit on his cleats about the franchise.
Yeah.
I know the whole story, man.
Yeah. I loved him. I loved everything about B Phillips. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't get on him. I was, you know, because hell, I'm trying to stay in the league myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just a couple years older, but I just remember like they always, you know, like that flair, that swag, you know what I'm saying? They always want you to earn it. But it's like that was his, you know, his thing. And they wanted him to like suppress it. And that was my whole point of this story is like, you know, I remember having this conversation and I told him like, be who you are. You know, he hit a home run, a boom, but he's scuffling, he go down. I was like, stay that smiling dude. Stay with who you are. You know what I'm saying? And
he just smiles and he has fun. He does have flash. Man, we were in high school and You know, he get to take a throw and tag it, you know, between his legs. You know, people say he's a hot dog. Now he can just do stuff other folks can't do.
That's right.
You know, long as he didn't drop the ball, I don't give a damn how he tags him. You know? And I tell our other kids, don't do what B does, because when B leaves here, he's going to get 200 more swings in. He's going to take 300 more ground balls. I knew his daddy well. I had his older brother, Jamil. You know, they're going to work, man.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't do it. This hour and a half, I got you. I can't teach him what that man knows. You know, so he's playing around and goofing around. He's getting his work in, but he can do some stuff y'all can't do. You know, I got to be honest with you, you know?
Facts. What do you how do you deal with a player? And I'm calling out B. Phillips because, I mean, he made a lot of money in 15 years, you know, in the league and did his thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the young B. Phillips, and you telling me he was doing this in high school.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that, you know, it's the only thing I don't like about baseball. And hell, I tell many kids, you know, like, yo, you got to button up. If you're trying to make that paper, you got to adjust to this game. You know what I'm saying? But how do you tell a B. Phillips, you know what I'm saying, a youngster with the flair? Because that obviously that's his edge. You know, I remember him and Old Dog was in the full league and they were jabbing, you know, Orlando been on the show a couple times, you know what I'm saying? And they used to be talking
our MVP event 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? And they would talk it but it was always like, you know, it was always an issue. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, they talk too much or whatever. But I remember talking junk to Orlando in the middle of the second. He's like, we gonna bust your ass. We gonna bust, you know, you know what I'm saying? And it's a fun thing, you know what I'm saying? But they try to tap that away. And so how did you tame a Brandon Phillips in high school? Obviously,
I didn't tame him. I didn't control him. I would tell him, hey man, folks is watching. We got 9 guys here today to look at you. Watch what you say. Watch what you do. As soon as you get off this bus, it's gonna be they be watching. They writing notes. B. Don't let them write something that's gonna affect your money. You know, and that got his attention.
Right.
You know, but I said, go have fun. You know, you got to get 4 knocks today. You know, so and so we got cross checkers here today. You know, we got scout director here today. B. You know that, and his smile gets bigger. He wanted to know that stuff. Hey man, I used to be able to get the signals from the other coach when they give him I know if it's a curveball, fastball. Right. B said, "Don't tell me, coach." That's how good he was. Me, I want to know what's coming.
I know. I was like B. Phillips. I didn't want to know because you know why? If I knew a curveball was coming, I was gonna swing at wherever it is because I knew it was coming. So I ain't have that discipline. Like, you know, I used to tell me, don't tell me, please.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't want to know. You know, so you know, we did. You know, first name was fastball, last name was curve. And goody, don't do that. Don't do that. You know.
Right.
I said, huh?
What speaking of, you know, the youth baseball and high, you know, like, how do you feel about a young kid going to these MVP showcases and these type of atmospheres of playing in front of college coaches? And, you know, I know it's a nervous feeling, but how do you feel about these kids, you know, necessarily, you know, clamoring up during a showcase like an MVP or anything like that? I know nerves get involved, but how do you feel about somebody, you know, like I take it as, you know, if you don't take advantage of these opportunities, they sure as hell ain't gonna be able to play in front of 50,000 one day, you know?
Again, man, like I said, the people that lead these organizations that participate, Morris Madden, who brings the team from Carolina, he played in the big leagues. He tells them, you know, you guys talk about it, time to do it. You know, time to get to work. Again, and he doesn't take a kid out when errors are part of the game. You know, they don't take kids because they make an error. Hey, man, let's go to work. You know, the ball coming back to you. It's just that simple. Again, all coaches aren't like that. You know, D. Brown, the coach from California, he's a scout with the Tigers. You know, we got great guys around these kids, man. And that's what I said. RBI should have vetted the people who's running RBI before they turned it loose. We vet our folks, man.
I love it. All right. They are still trying to suppress it. We see it in travel to major leagues. Facts. All right. We need more old school coaches again. All right.
I ain't coming back out.
Facts. All right. Serge, what's up, Serge? All right. Let me see. It's cultural. Until more people in positions of authority and power understand and align with brown children, it will be the same suppression of natural swag, talent, and flash. Facts.
We understand that. I mean, you know, that's part of the game, man. And again, that goes back to the unwritten rules and all that kind of stuff. We're different. You know what I'm saying? We respect the game, but we celebrate the game.
Can we just had a no, it wasn't. It was my boy Will. We were talking about this yesterday, you know, and I had to agree with him. You know what I'm saying? But we were talking about, you know, young kids, especially, you know, I you know, a normal day in professionals all the way down to high school. Like, I mean, I would do my thing, but it was like I lived for the attention. I lived for the scouts and all. You know, like I hated just seeing my parents there all the time. I couldn't stand that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we were talking how, you know, certain, you know, people, Latin, black, you know what I'm saying, even some white boys, you know what I'm saying, love the attention, but you got people that clam up. We were just talking about this yesterday. Yeah. And, you know, with the showcases and stuff, and why is that? You know, because, you know, to me, it was, I needed 35, 40, because, you know, I always say baseball's a boring sport. You know what I mean? It's a fun sport. It's a boring sport.
It's a lot of standing around. It's a lot of standing around, man. You know, but you got to play the game within the game, man, to keep it interesting. You know, right. Again, I mean, I let kids play, man. Again, I used to tell the kids, and I wouldn't do it today if I was coaching, you know, catch the ball with two hands until you sign a contract. You know, not everybody catches with one hand, but, you know, that changed. So I changed with the game, you know. You know, they're taught one hand, you know. So it changes. You got to change with the game. And if you drop it, your ass is over here with me with one hand. I'm sorry.
I love it, Coach. That's right. That's that old coach coming to you. I love it right there. All right. Aaron says, almost every high school coach I know wants to win, although I am sure there are some politics involved at various schools. However, my guess is that why the best talent sometimes never sees the field is due to academic eligibility. Hashtag take care of business. All right. Okay. It must have been an earlier comment. All right, Aaron. Bubba says TJ got to meet Jamil Phillips
a few weeks back. Yeah. Jamil has a batting cage here. I mean, runs a batting cage right here in the Atlanta area. He's still giving lessons.
You know what?
He's the oldest Phillips boy.
Okay. I've never met Jamil. I know PJ.
He went to Southern, played pro ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, so that whole family, huh? You know, the sister of the WNBA, huh?
All of them played pro ball. 3 boys and 1 girl. Talented family.
Wow. I had a chance to meet the whole fam. PJ was a little 13, 14-year-old kid at the time. We were at when Brandon was in Cleveland, and we at Sabathia's house, and Brandon was a little. And I remember the daughter. I remember the little. She was 7, 8, in the background over there. And then, boy, whoa! Just to hear that, I saw it. I didn't know that. I saw the article of them all. I was like, and a picture or something of them. It was crazy, man. I didn't know that.
It'd be good to get their mom and dad on here.
I would love to. I ain't talked to PJ or B Phillips in years, man. I heard.
You know, they're in B just bought the team in Lexington.
I heard over there, and we talking about them the other day, man. I definitely would love to run into them, brother. I ain't, you know, like I said, I ain't see B Phillips in a while, and I saw PJ. Like I said, I saw him as a 13-year-old, and then we were in Angels camp together. And he was fresh, his first spring training. I was like, damn. I was like, remember, you was a little, I used to slap you around. Now you over there first rounder now, man. It's crazy, man. Small world, man. It's crazy, man. But anyway, B-Horse of Texas is different. We are structured like MLB. They aren't gonna let us be great. Nah. You put up the numbers. I promise you, B-Hall. They, you know, you got
somebody, man. Somebody, you know, they can't hold you back, man.
Right,
don't use that.
Right. Don't use that as an excuse. I promise you.
And Texas is I understand Texas. I grew up in Oklahoma, but there's an organization somewhere where your kid can be great. You don't have to go to that school. They don't make you go to that school.
All right. Cherry, what's up? All right, New York in the house. Mike D. Brown with the show in Cali runs a quality organization. All right, that's right. You know,
I just said that.
Yeah.
We deal with quality people, but we vet our folks.
Mike is an Oakland, Cali dude, so he knows D from out there, I'm sure. I always talk to my kid about make sure when you walk out on the field, all the attention is on you and separate yourself from the others when you play the game. Cuban swag, all right? Shout out to you, sirs. We was talking about you this week and talking about your son this week, and me, Carl, and oh gosh, I forgot. It was me and Carl was talking about Super this weekend. We talking about you. I bet they work really hard to accomplish that. Yeah, the family definitely.
Oh,
Aaron
no
Wilson.
doubt. I was saying,
Yeah.
man, once they leave practice, they go practice again. You know, the Phillips family wasn't no joke, man. I want it to be good to get the parents on and talk
I would
about how
love
they
to.
accomplished that.
Yeah, I would love to, man. And
Their thing was not to play pro ball, was to go to college free.
that was their you know, that was all they wanted, huh?
Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
again, as the kids bought into it, they didn't just want to go to college. They wanted to play professional. They want to be professional athletes.
Facts. All right. I'm sorry, Denise. I don't skip this. How do you get on the local minor league teams? Do you have to be drafted as well? Yes, Denise, you have to be drafted. Affiliate minor league baseball. All right. To get, you have to be drafted. Okay.
Yeah, she's probably talking about independent teams, but they have tryouts too.
They have tryouts too. They got a couple going on this summer.
Yeah.
All right. What is this? Streaming live. I don't know. All right, don't worry about it. Maybe it's sometime we get some dudes on here. I don't know. It may be some crazy stuff on there. So don't even press that link. Please don't press that link. I need to get that erased. I don't even know why I put it up there. All right. So Coach, man, where do you see the MVP baseball going? Where do you have Ryan Howard speak? You know what I'm saying? You had, pro scouts.
We've had old dogs speak. We've had Marquise Grissom. It's just the baseball family is small. They want to help other people. When Manny Upton brought his team from Virginia, Manny's so connected, it's unbelievable. Then Preacher, so we get guys. MVP is not going too many places because I'm old. I'm not doing a whole lot more, but I want other programs to emulate what we do. We're not trying to say MVP is the end all be all. We want other MVPs. It can happen, man. We want to give our kids an opportunity. And again, we've spent Pro Youth Foundation, Chicago Ace. None of that would happen until MVP started. So, folks start their own thing, man. And I'll support it. I'm going to Kansas City tomorrow to support Chip's thing in Kansas City. He's doing a showcase to help kids to have them seen. And we support one another, man. We're not in competition.
Right. Can we? And how do you feel about that? How because behind the scenes, it's certain people. I try to highlight. I've had Carl on here yesterday. I was promoting
Carl's one of the good guys.
Yeah, I promoted his group Stockyard. The JoJo Battens.
JoJo's a great guy.
Yep.
We're all connected, man.
Yeah. So what do you? I had a couple talks with them. I'll do sometimes because they feel like the competition is there, and I was like, I'm like, I think that's a problem. It's just that's
it's not a problem. It's enough kids. It's enough kids out here that we can help, man. And then if we lose kids, like people always say, man, you got to do your MVP program in another week because WWB got something going on. I don't care nothing about WWB. I'm trying to help the kids I can help, man. And there's always going to be something going on. You focus on what you can do. I
love it, man.
That's all you can do, man.
That's it.
I mean, baseball has been so good to me. It's been so good to me. So I got to try to help the next guy, man.
I agree. All right. Will says, ask Coach about the Classic 44 in Atlanta.
That's something that the Braves started. It's an outstanding program. They're gonna bring the they got the Hank Aaron Invitational going on in Vero Beach right now. Probably 80 kids down there. They're gonna bring the top 44 kids to Atlanta next weekend. If you live in the Metro Atlanta area, just go to the Atlanta Braves website, and you have to have a ticket. The tickets are free, but you have to sign up. You register for a ticket, and you'll get a ticket. So Truist Park's not gonna be sold out, but you'll see the top 44 kids, minority African American kids, in a game in Atlanta at Truist Stadium next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. It's going to be amazing. I sent you some information on that, D, too.
Yeah, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make it. I did. So what's the difference between this one and the one in November? Because I went to the one in November, too.
Yeah, that's the one in November is going to be a little different because at this one, we got kids that are dual sport kids. You know, because they're going to go to football and
That's right.
whatever.
That's right.
So we got, you know, so we'll have a different amount of kids. But in November, we have another one, the Hank 44. But again, like I say, man, I welcome all these programs. Anytime you can get kids seen, get kids exposure, you know, that's an opportunity for kids, man. Again, I'm not in it for me. Everybody in MVP volunteers.
That's
you
crazy.
know, everybody thinks that baseball has been good to them, so they want to give something back to the game. So we don't worry about no money. We just worry about getting the bills paid and moving on. Other organizations, you know, if people got to eat, so I know sometimes they have to charge money. I understand that. But again, I can't speak against nobody. If I see they're trying to help kids, I'm supporting it.
Speaking of paying money, I do have a paying money showcase, Coach.
Yeah.
And that is next week. But I still think it's very reasonable.
Money.
Yeah. I think it's very reasonable for whatever. And I'm not, you know, listen, I love what you said. I'm just, you know, piggybacking off what you said. I'm just plugging in. It's a perfect time to plug it in. Next Wednesday, here in Atlanta. So the sign up, you see the little link over there. That's the perfect time to go ahead and showcase over there. All right. But
where's it at?
It is going to be at Holy Prep Spirit High School in Buckhead. Right now, my boy Vic Ratcliffe. I don't know if you're familiar with Vic. His son just got drafted, Barron, out of Georgia Tech. He just got the head coach job over there in Buckhead. So, but I may have to holler at you over there too, because we're talking field issues and stuff. Maybe it may have a hookup somewhere, but we'll see. I'll talk after this here too. But the just came out this morning. But the that's on Wednesday. Let me get some of these questions coming in. Steve says, who gets looked at more, high school or travel ball by scouts?
Depends on the kid. The scouts follow the kid. That kills me when they say scouts don't come to high school. That's a lie. I went to many high school
than college coaches in high school, boy.
I went to many high school because you find out more information. You know, and we're trained, you know, as the kids and know the kid. You know, does he get high? Does he party? You know, we get all kind of information from when you go to the high school. When you go to travel ball, you know, they're trained not to give out any information. We get a lot of information, man.
I love it. All right. Coach Carl is a great coach, and glad TJ is a part of what he's doing in Stockyard. All right, shout out to Carl. I don't doubt they're isolated idiots. I just have a hard time believing it is systematic, as I lived in 6 states and 2 countries. If I was in one of those circumstances, I would do my best to get out. For instance, my kids are homeschooled. There is definitely a stigma attached to them before anyone sees them on a field or court. Arkansas, where we live, has adopted the 10 Tebow law, allowing homeschool kids to participate in public sports. I love this. However, and he went on, but yeah, I think that was
that's great. I love if high school kids get opportunity to participate, then you'll be able to be seen. Simple as that.
Facts. All right.
And again, we have a homeschool league here. You know, a lot of folks don't know Marquise Griswold's son played in the homeschool league. He's at Georgia Tech.
I'm about to say, because Will put me onto it this past year about the type of talent that is in there. And I was telling one of the dads that's on here who was a very talented, you know, I'm like, you need to look into that, you know, homeschool league, because Will was the one who put me onto it and said, yo, D, there's some talent.
I don't buy that about where you play, they won't see you. Know? Man, with the social media stuff, you're going to be seen. You know, that's a long time ago. You wouldn't make somebody slip through, but now, man, so somebody told a kid throwing 94, everybody going to know that tomorrow.
You ain't.
You know?
Tell them, coach. Tell them. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, you telling the truth. People think these, you know.
I still get the phone call where the guy would call me and say, my kid hit 96 the other day. And you go out there and he's throwing 86. You know, you still get those too. You know, which turn you off.
Facts. Parents.
Hey, Carl, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, what up, Carl? Yeah, chiming in. His ears must have been ringing. We're talking about him over there.
He's one of the good dudes, man.
Yeah, Carl do it right. He definitely do it right. He's been on the show.
Good.
Yeah. Coach D, you have to bring. Coach D, you've been bringing great value to players and parents for a while now. I know we have benefited from it. No doubt, Bubba, man. You've been one of my listeners, man. Coach, I've been doing this October, man. October 28th, it'll be 3 years I've been doing this, bro. So
well, I'm sure your ratings will go down now that you've had me on.
Nah, man, it's going up, man. You know, they get tired of me, Coach. Listen, I get asked by the parents, well, why don't you let somebody else do it one day out the week? And you don't even have to be on. I'm like, well, damn, it's my damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So I promise you, I give you one time a week or so. You be a hit out here. You know what I'm saying? Be a hit out in these streets. For real.
Nah, man, I'm gonna keep being on the underground, man, doing the grassroots thing. That's why I work best, man. I'm not the guy to be in the front, because I tell the truth, man.
That's the hey. Shoot. Anyway, I'm gonna stay away from that. Listen, Coach, man, where do you see the game going, man, in the youth baseball space? You know what I'm saying? You've been attached to it, involved with it so long, man. Where do you see the game going in the next 3 to 5 years?
I'm hoping, man, that we're going to get these parks back rolling like it was when I was a kid, that we'll have 15 to 20 teams in a park, that you don't have to travel. You don't pay $1 million to go nowhere. You can play 3 games a week in your park, stay in your neighborhood, get the dads back out there to teach fundamentals. That's what I'm hoping it gets back to. Then later on, kids will be ready to make their high school teams. If they want to travel, that's fine. But I'm hoping we get these parks back strong, man. What the Braves just did with the Cavs at Gresham Park,
right?
Just put this turf down there.
Yeah.
I hope it's going to be used. Gresham Park put out cats like Quincy Carter and hundreds of more. That learned right there at Gresham Park.
I used to hear about Gresham. One of
the greatest parks in the country, man, as far as talent. We had high schools all around Gresham Park that were competitive. They got kids drafted and signed to go to school, man. They came out of the park, man. Wasn't no travel.
I was talking to a dad who has a 14-year-old and at MVP, and he said, and I met I'm thinking the guy that oversees it now. He invited me next week to the thing. I'm sorry, bro. I'm drawing up. Yes.
Tell us Holloway, yeah. Hey, D, you'd be surprised who was at MVP. We don't advertise, we don't market. Bill Bavasi was there. They hear about what we're doing, man, and we're doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
You saw more college coaches there than you do at Perfect Game anywhere else, because we have the right folks, man.
I would, and I one of my dads from Jersey, I was trying to get his older son to come for that reason alone, because he thought he needed to go to Perfect. He didn't want to leave his team he didn't want to go to leave his team out there in the world with bad. I said, listen, it's going to be more. Yeah, I understand, but I told him to come, and I said, it's going to be more people here that can affect your life more so than that. But he didn't want to listen. But that was my
Antonio, I'm gonna call you right back.
That was my point, though, is when you said the few people that help you start. You said those names, but people that don't understand, these are heavy hitters. These are guys that have been, they're in the front office right now. You know what I'm saying? The Major League Baseball teams. You know what I'm saying? So these are heavy hitters that have flew in specifically to watch the games and have helped you build this 15 plus years ago. But these dudes are front office guys now. You know what I'm saying? Still come. And still care. Right. And mad that they didn't come, because Stevie Preach told me in November, he's like, man, I was mad I didn't come out. They had it. Oh, man, because I guess the whole COVID, he was like, I usually go to that. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. We canceled it last year.
No. It was the one I was up in AAA, November. The
one
the one up at the AAA the Braves Stadium. Yeah. So, but anyway, Coach, let me see. Real talk. Scouts follow the kid, and scouts talk to each other. They're having games. All right. Bless up, brother. Much love. All right. So anyway, I know you got to go, Coach. Tomorrow I will be on with Coach. I want you to hit us with a last message, but let me say my little 2 cents, and I'll let you have it. I want to tomorrow we will have Gene Bowles. Just got the job over there at Prince County Junior College. He will be joining me tomorrow at 4 p.m. To talk about his new program. They are still actively looking for 2021s. So you need to come on, and especially if you have a 2021 that is, maybe send some film. You never know. All right. So if you are, unsigned or have an unsigned 2021, come on the show tomorrow. Hear about this program. He just got it. I've known him since he was at JC in North Carolina. Tomorrow, also next week, I'm trying to line up another D2 school up in Tennessee, and along with some great guests, maybe Chip. I get Chip on next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and keep this ball rolling. So
he got, man, like I said, and he's doing all of Florida. And the thing about Chip and myself, if you can't get to us, we'll turn you on to somebody in your area. There are no excuses, man. There's somebody that will help you, man. Just that simple, man.
I was just telling mom that earlier. I was like, listen, man, these scouts I said, you think these recruiters and college coaches, I said, use these scouts, you know what I'm saying? That or the people that connected to these scouts, because the scouts could be your best recruiter, you know what I'm saying? The Chip Lawrences, you and all of them,
They're at a game to see one guy, but they gotta see the whole game. So if they see kids they know can play at a college, they're recommending these kids.
Facts.
They're not there to watch one kid. They're there to turn in a report on one kid, but they're watching everybody.
Facts. All right. And I hope you guys are listening. That's a tip that coach just told you. All right. Don't just think because a scout is there that it's only a pro and that's it. He's just connected as the next guy. You know what I'm saying? And we're helping your kid. And I had Easy over there talking. I was gonna say this on the live, but I had a dad, and congratulations, you know him because his kid just got the award over there. It's going to FAMU. But Easy was talking to him, and the dad was being modest. And I'm gonna let Coach finish this out, but this is a tip could be talking in right now. When a scout or a college recruiter, parents, this is for you parents, and then you can relay the message to whatever, because he was talking to the parent. And there's a difference between arrogant and pumping up your kid than being very sure about your kid and telling the stats if a scout is asking. The reason I say that, shout out to my boy, he know who you're talking about. He was being very modest about his kid when a scout was asking what's up with his numbers, what's going on. Parents, it's up to you, just like the kids should know. You should know your kid's numbers, all right? What he hit in high school or what's going on. And you should also, talk about your son without bragging, because just like Coach said, don't talk about he throws 96 when he throws 86, all right? But if a scout is asking you about your child, tell the truth. Just be very, hey, he needs work, but hey, he can run, he can throw, he can hit, he hit da. He's done well with the fielding and all of that. Very sure of your son, not being extremely modest. Well, he could whatever, knowing he's the man. Because the scouts is like, yo, tell me what
talk about his tools. Talk about his plus tools.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So again, I was a nugget I was supposed to have talked about on Friday, because Easy was like, yo, I know you about to go on live. Tell them parents that, man, we don't want no modesty. All right. You know what I'm saying? We just want the truth. All right. And talk with, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So anyway, that was a tip. Hope you guys got that. Coach, if you could take us out on a great message, brother. And you know what I'm saying? And your floor is yours. And I'm going to end this show and be on tomorrow 4 p.m. I appreciate you coming.
First, I want to thank you for the opportunity, man. Been doing this a long time. The game is not always fair, but you always got to work hard. You always got to put your best foot forward. You never know who's watching, because you're always auditioning for the next opportunity. And I just want you to keep working hard. You can't control a lot of things. Control what you can control. That's it, man.
There you go. Short and to the point. Control what you can control. Don't worry about all the other mess. All right. Coach, it's been a pleasure, brother. It's been great. Thank you for taking out your time, man, and coming on here and sharing these nuggets, man. And I got to get you back on. Maybe, I get Chip and all, and then maybe down the line we do some type of round table type of thing and talk, about the game and where it's going. I love your perspective from your experience in the past to where you think the game is going, man. And, it's been a pleasure, brother. And I thank you so much for coming on.
No problem. Thank you, man. Take care. We'll talk.
All right. Thanks, Goody. All right, parents, 4 p.m. tomorrow, I will be on, all right, with Coach Gene Bowles over there from Prince County Junior College, and we'll be all rocking and rolling, all right? So see you guys tomorrow, 4 p.m., and, we'll be there, all right? Love you guys. Thank you, all right? Goody's a dude, good dude, right? All right, great interview. Love you guys. You guys take care. Peace and love.